Have you ever met someone and then they just like captivate the F out of you? All of a sudden, you're like thinking about them all the time. You can't stop. You might not even know if they're interested or not, but it's just always on your mind. You're just walking around your house and then boom, you think of this person. You're walking down the street, boom, you're thinking about this person. You're thinking, and you just can't stop. Okay, I'm going to tell you what's going on. Welcome to Carla Turned On, where dating and relationships get real, sex gets talked about, and the BS gets left on red. Let's get turned on. This isn't just lust. This isn't just the spark. This is something called limerence. And we are going to be diving in today with Carla Turned On all about limerence and what exactly it means, how to navigate it, and how not to get stuck there. But let me back up just a little bit here because we are also going to be talking all about my turned off rant, which is moving things so quickly and how much it turns me off when people are like, oh, but if it's the right relationship, you guys should be moving in together and you should be doing this and shit. It's like, no, first off, we shouldn't be shooting on ourselves. Second off, okay, I'm gonna pause. And then yes, of course, we're gonna be going into the limerence side of things. But also, most importantly, we are going to be talking about coming and orgasms. And when we get into our taco section, we're going to be talking about sexting and exactly what that is. And okay, I know, I like to talk. What can you say? I have to say, okay, I'm going to digress here, but we're going to do this. When I was in school, can you imagine what I got in trouble for the most? Talking. And now look at me. Here I am. We're all hanging out. You're listening to me talk again. My family is always like, Carla, please, just for a moment, please. Like growing up, that was a thing. And then even now, sometimes when I'm like, oh, I'm really excited about this. And they're not dimming my light. My family turns the light on. They're always encouraging me to talk about things and speak my mind. But sometimes they're like, Carla, just for a moment, can I have like a break? And this comes out in my my marriage when my husband is sitting there reading and he is an introvert. I am an extrovert. Yes, you can be together. An extrovert and an introvert can marry together and have a great relationship. But he's like, I just need some downtime. I'm just going to have like a book and read. And I come in the room and I'm like, this, that. Oh, yeah, that. And he's like, Carla, sorry, I'm like, oh my gosh, sorry. Yes, of course. Let me just back up now. And I just like to talk. I always got something to say. Okay, I know. Let's get turned off. It turns me off when people are always like, it's okay. Things are going well. It's just a vibe. Just go with it. Like, escalate it. No. Moving things too quickly is a turn off. And I understand, I always say when we talk about the moving things quickly and whatnot, of course, there are the people out there who are like, we got married after 2 weeks and those are my parents. Who are like, my parents got married after 2 weeks and life has been great 60 years later. Okay, great. I'm so happy for them. But the reality is when you move things too quickly, intensity does not equal intimacy. And I think a lot of people get that confused. And this can be a red flag. It can be a big red flag in relationships. It can be a red flag in dating, is when you are just going off the vibes. It's so good. It's so great. And then boom, you realize quickly maybe they're not the right person, or you realize quickly we're really different, or you realize quickly, oh, they just pulled away out of nowhere. What happened? It's because you don't trust them. You do not know them. You have not built sufficient amount of trust in this person to be able to be like, yeah, we're going to end up forever. This is it. This is amazing. I know this person so well. Even when you are in relationships where you have been in them for years. And I talk about this on my last Carla Turned On podcast episode around infidelity and cheating and my story around that. You don't always know somebody, right? It's important to take time and take steps into progressing relationships. So when somebody is like, oh my gosh, I've never felt this way before in my life on date number 2, or I've had clients say, and I am guilty myself in past relationships, or I'm guilty myself. Okay, I'm going to even back up more. Guilty myself after dating somebody. I went on a first date with somebody. This was so long ago, but I went on a first date with somebody and I went home and told my roommate, I said, I'm going to marry him. I did not marry him. Good thing I didn't marry him. But I'm going to tell you right now is that when you feel those things, it does not mean speed up. It doesn't mean gas pedal. Let's fucking go. It means slow it down, put the brakes on a little bit, and take your time because it's a red flag when things are too quick. Your nervous system is activated, and there is something called polyvagal theory that suggests our nervous systems are subconsciously communicating to one another. So that excitement, that feeling of, yes, this is great, might just be familiarity of, oh, this feels great, feels familiar because I'm picking up that you're emotionally unavailable like a parent was to me or like a partner was. And so this feels right and normal, even though maybe it isn't. The nervous system going, yes, this is it. This is it. Oh my gosh, excitement does not equal compatibility. It takes time to know if you are truly compatible. Chemistry, compatibility ain't the same thing, baby. I know a lot of times we want it to be. We want to be like, yes, this feels right. It feels good. Green flags, let's go. But that just means slow the F down. Hey, real quick, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want dating support, don't forget to look in the notes below where you can learn all about my guides and how to work with me. And if you want to follow me on my socials, you can find me anywhere at I am Carla Romo. Let's get turned on. Also, just a little side note, or maybe we should make it a really big note here. Fast bonding with somebody creates false certainty. So just because you moved very quickly doesn't mean that there's certainty. And okay, you could argue this. I'm gonna throw out a counter right now to what I'm saying. Well, you never know. Even being in a marriage, you don't know if it'll work out. So why not just go for it now? No, because what you're actually stopping and preventing is healthy bonding, taking steps to actually grow into relationship with somebody so that you can be in a trusting, secure, safe relationship. When you try to skip over that process, you don't have anything to even stand on. The ground is jello and there's quicksand. You guys remember quicksand as a kid? You'd like put out in the living room, you'd put out the pillows and you'd put out like someone's sweater and I don't know, something else, right? Like a stuffed animal. There's like little Barney stuffed animals. I know, I'm a millennial here, right here. Yeah, I know. And you would hop from each little thing that you put on the ground. Nobody could touch the ground. Whoever touched the ground first, quicksand, you're sinking. That is what this does when you go too quickly. It creates a trifecta of quicksand. You get excited to play the game, the quicksand game. You're like, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to fucking win. I'm going to beat Charlie, my neighbor. And then all of a sudden you're hopping around. And then you're like, wait a minute, I touched the ground and now I'm out. Well, that happened really quick. Yeah. Because when you move things quick, when you escalate way too quickly, you're going to have to either one, the relationship is not going to work out, or two, you're going to have to backtrack a lot and rebuild that. And that takes a lot of time and energy. So put the time and energy in the now, in the present of taking your time with getting to know somebody, taking your time in a relationship so that you can be in a healthy, long standing relationship that has foundation and isn't going to be like Charlie, who you're playing against, who is your competition to whether or not you're going to jump in that quicksand. Okay? Okay. Now, let's get into what I'm really excited to talk about, limerence. What is limerence? All right, I'm going to break this down for you. A definition of limerence is the state of being infatuated or obsessed with another person. It doesn't even have to be mutual. It can actually be more so fantasy. And yes, limerence can come out with infidelity. A lot of times people have affairs because of a limerence. All of a sudden they think they found the one. This person is perfect. Oh my gosh, great. I'm going to leave my entire family for them. It's like the stories that you hear that you're like, they left everything for this person? Like, that's so strange. Yeah, because that's limerence playing out. That's not just attraction. It's the limerence. It's the infatuation, the obsession over someone else. Or you might see it played out. You have a crush on somebody and you can't stop thinking about them. They might be in a relationship. They might be single, but you just are obsessed. And we're not talking about the feel goods because you might be like, well, do I have limerence? Because when I met somebody, I was really excited and got giddy feelings and yeah. No, okay. I'm going to break down exactly what this looks like, how it plays out, and then how you can get out of it because you do not want to stay in a state of limerence. It's almost like a little spell or a little cloud and it doesn't last forever, but it's not something you want to sit in actively while you're dating or in a relationship. As a dating and relationship coach, I always tell my clients, and I've told you if you're an OG listener, you fall in love with reality and not potential. That is number one, because so often we get into fantasy. We get into what could be. And then you start to obsess over these thoughts and you create this narrative and it starts to become an actual escapism. That's not healthy. Yes, it is normal to create escapism and fantasy around getting to know somebody new, right? You're excited about them. You're like, oh, maybe, the idea of like, oh, could I marry them? But you're not sitting in this idea of like, I am marrying them. I feel convinced that I'm going to marry them. Now I have picked out my wedding dress for them. I have picked out everything else that is going to happen with them. And you're like driving back from the first date, right? You're creating this false sense and you just keep thinking about them and you're obsessive over them and you go on more dates with them and you keep thinking about them and you're obsessive over them. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, I don't think we're a good fit. And you're like, what? What? And then it's like, you feel like you can't get out of the obsession. You think about them all the time. Or maybe you have a crush on somebody and you're like, I think about them all the time and I think about what our life could be. And if they just noticed me, or you see this person at the gym and you're like, I know that we could be together. And I picture that they're interested in me and they smiled at me. So therefore it means that it's like, no, 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 no. It takes over. It is all encompassing. It is so consuming when you are in limerence. And the other thing too that is really important to recognize, it is so dopamine driven. So you are talking about dopamine hits, dopamine highs. It has nothing to do with compatibility. It has nothing to do with the reality of the situation, which again, I'm going to weave back in terms of infidelity and affairs. People become so obsessed. That's all they're thinking about. And the reality starts to feel like, I am living this life that I shouldn't be living. I should be living and insert the fantasy life with this person because it would save me from all these problems and how I'm feeling. And when you have the dopamine hits, you have the high highs, you have the low lows. It's like, oh my goodness, this feels so, so great. And it is obsessive. I know I keep saying the O word, not orgasms. That's for the taco section, but the obsessive, the compulsive thinking about someone. And let me just say, this isn't like every crush of yours, right? This can happen to people one time, like it can be a one off. It doesn't mean that it's happening every time that you fall in love. Now, if you're like Carla, I always fall in love with fantasy and think about marrying them. Okay, this is where I have to distinguish the difference here because you might be like, oh my God, am I in limerence? No, not necessarily. It's also normal to kind of go into fantasy. It's the obsession piece. It's the I can't stop thinking about them. It's almost like an addiction in a way because it sucks you in so much that it is consuming you. You might even cancel plans with friends because you're like, well, I just need to sit at home and wait for them to text, wait for them to text. It's like, it starts to disrupt your day-to-day life. You might even be at work and not being able to get work done because you're thinking about them all the time. And here's the crazy thing. Like I said, it's dopamine hits. So the feel good, right, is so heightened and it feels so great that you think this is normal. You're just chilling in it. You're like, yeah, this feels good. It's an escape and it's an escape. And so you're doing whatever you can to kind of get those hits. And these are the four signs that you are in limerence. Number one, constant thinking about them. So you are constantly just obsessing. Like I said, that obsession, thinking about them, what life could be. Number two, you're ignoring the red flags. Yes, there will be red flags, especially if somebody's in limerence with somebody who's in another relationship or there's an affair going on. You don't care. You're like, fuck this. I just want them. And the other thing too is you ignore red flags in dating. There might be some things that you're like, this is not cool. They don't treat their friends right or they don't treat the waiter right, but fuck it. I will paint everything green because they're just amazing. And I just need to see them. Number three, emotional highs with crashes. This is where that dopamine hit is going high, 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 low, 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 crash, right? And then you're just like, what's going on? How do I get that high again? How do I get that hit? It's part of that cycle. And number four, it's the feeling of being chosen instead of being known, like really knowing somebody. The feeling of being chosen is, oh my gosh, they like me. They're picking me. They like me. They've picked me. Oh my gosh, I can't fuck this up. And of course, I have been there myself. I have clients who are there where it's this feeling of I need to be picked in order to feel loved and liked. That's different versus this idea of, I feel like this, like I'm on this pedestal. I feel elated because, wow, they actually picked me. And this can also come out, like I said, in affairs where people are choosing, right? Where people are feeling chosen. Oh, they're leaving me for them, or they're sleeping with me and choosing me over their family or the partner that they're with. It can also come out in early dating where, wow, like they're choosing me. Wow, okay, this is crazy. Forget the red flags. And that's kind of where the red flags come in with it too. Okay, so you're like, this seems intense and a lot. So why? Why do we go here? It's not necessarily a choice, right? It's activated through childhood trauma, patterns, attachment styles. And as a result of this, you are attaching in these ways. So I want to be clear here. Anybody who's in limerence, right? The important thing is to get help when you're in it because this can actually help heal you. But the problem is when people are in limerence, it's like a spell. Like I said, it's a cloud over them. It's so hard to be able to see what's in front of you because that's all you can think about is that person or that relationship. And it's activating within wounds that you haven't healed. And so you're actually acting out because of the wounds. And this is sort of the same thing again around it's a facade, it's not reality, it's fantasy because you're trying to heal, right? You're trying to fix these wounds, but through limerence is what actually comes through as trying to kind of cover for the wounds. And you want to lean into the limerence just because the dopamine hits and it feels so good. So it kind of traps you. It kind of gets you stuck in that cycle. But just because you are stuck in the cycle does not mean you can't get out. These are the 5 ways that you are going to get out of limerence if you feel like you are stuck in the cycle. Number 1, slow the pace, slow it down. I know that dopamine hit, that like, oh, this is amazing, is just going to be so loud and it's going to want to keep you there. It is a mind game. You are going to have to slow it down. Your mind can still be there, but physically slow down the pacing. If you are dating somebody, spread out the dates more. I know, and that's going to be really hard because it's impulsive. You're going to want to act on the dopamine hit. You're going to want to be like, this is great. This is amazing. What is Carla talking about? Why are we pushing myself away from this? Right? No, we want to slow it down. We want to take our time and we want to make sure we're acting rationally and rooted in reality. Number 2, reality check the fantasy. What is the story you're telling yourself? And how delusional is it? And I'm not saying that you're actually delusional if you're thinking this way, but it's not clear, sane thinking, right? Like you're in a cloud of this limerence and it feels so good, but at the same time, what's the reality? Are you really going to leave everybody and go away in the distance with this person? It's this trick because sometimes you feel like you've met this person and they've cured all your problems. The reality is there's no perfect relationship out there that cures all your problems. That shit doesn't exist. It really does not exist. And any healthy relationships goes through their ups and downs. So if you think that this is it and this person's going to save you or they're going to fix you or you can fix or save them, that ain't honey. Number 3 is limit communication. This comes down to limiting texting so that texting all day, every day, can't get enough of them. Oh my gosh, this is great. Fuels it. It fuels it. Talking on the phone, FaceTiming all the time. Slow it down. The more that you text, the more that you FaceTime, dopamine, 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 dopamine. It just keeps coming and coming. Slowing down that pace, limiting how much you're communicating with this person is going to help with that big time. Number 4, get back to your life. Re-anchor your body, your routine. Get back into the things that bring you joy, your hobbies. Make sure you're not canceling plans with friends, or make sure that you're not foregoing your workout class or your gym session because this girl or this guy is really amazing and you're like, cool, I'll just quit everything in life and just focus on them. No, keep your life. Live your life. That is going to be key as well to getting out of this. And number 5, this one, this question, if you're in limerence is gonna be a motherfucker. But ask yourself, what do I actually know about them? And I'm not talking about facts or things you watch on their Instagram stories or anything like that. I'm talking about, what do you truly know? What is that connection? Where is the depth here? What do you really know about them? It's going to trick you and it's going to tell you that I know so much. Of course, I know them. We're soulmates. This is it. This is it. They're amazing. They're the one. No, you do not know that. You have no proof of any of that. Sorry to break that to you. And here's the deal with limerence. You can get out of it. You're not stuck in it. You're not here forever. But also, limerence is a symptom that there is deeper stuff going on within, that you need to kind of take a step back and look. What is going on within me? Where can I heal? I've had lots of clients who've been in limerence before, and I help them work through just exactly the steps I just gave you here of being able to break out of it. It is not going to be a quick one size fit all type of vibe, right? You're going to have to figure out what's going to work best for you. But knowing at the end of the day that this is not healthy and you can get out of this is the first step. You fucking got this. I believe in you. Now we're gonna talk about it. Talking about coming in orgasms. We're here. We did it. We have made it to our taco section. What taco are you craving right now? Come on, go ahead, say it, think it. I know you're thinking about tacos. What do you put on top of your taco? That's genuinely what I'm wondering. God, I have such a dirty mind. I am not, and I promise I am not trying to be dirty here. Okay. Maybe now I've just introduced you to my dirty mind, but I am not trying to be dirty here. Genuine, like, what do you put on? If you are a true Mexican, Mexicana, like your girl Carla, you will put on onion and cilantro and some good salsa. But I always say those white people Mexican night, taco night, sour cream, cheese. I mean, don't get me wrong, sour cream is actually fucking bomb on top of tacos. But when you want that like authentic taco, keep it to the onion, the cilantro, and the salsa. Okay, we're going to talk about sexting. Sexting. You probably have done it before. Sexting is extremely common. Lots of people do it. Cat's out of the bag. Is that a saying? Cat's out of the bag. Cat's out of the bag with sexting. I'm so dirty. Okay, I got to stop. I have to stop. Okay, here I am. I'm focused. Carla's focused. The truth is around sexting is that most people have done it. Lots of celebrities have, people in Congress have, and got caught and it got exploited, which is shitty. I think that's fucked up to do to people. It doesn't matter who you are, like, that is your personal business. However, I will say this. There are light sides to sexting and there are dark sides to sexting. And I'm going to tell you that the dark side to sexting can actually fuel fantasy addiction. This kind of reminds me a little bit of that, like, limerence, the addiction, the little spell over you. And then, of course, the other side of it too, it can increase desire. So it can kind of build a little bit more. So when you do have sex with this person or you do sexual activity with this person, doesn't have to just be penetration, right? Sex or oral sex, that counts too as sex. But depending on however you define sex, it can build up desire, which can make it feel more exciting. And that's why people like doing it. But there's also a dark side of sexting, which is when it starts to become more of an addiction and less about actual connection with another person. Because at the end of the day, it's easy to sit there and sex. And okay, maybe I'll make this another taco section at some point, but talk about AI for a minute. Holy shit. People are just sexting with AI now. They don't even need, I don't know what graphic graphic images AI would provide in terms of sexting, but that would be interesting. If anybody knows if you're on Spotify or YouTube, please comment. And also, guys, don't forget to give us a review or give me a review. It's just me. It's a team of two who does this. Okay, I know I'm digressing, but if you're enjoying the podcast, I edit this shit. It is me editing it and I produce it and I have an awesome person, Carrie, who also works with me on it, but it's just the two of us. So if you do enjoy it, please, please, please give us a 5-star review if you enjoy this. Okay. All right. I know. Okay. Back into sexting. I'm going to say that it can start to build limerence, like fantasy, this idea of somebody, especially if you're sexting before you meet up with someone. I actually think, I'm going to fucking say this. I think it's a total red flag when you have made plans with somebody to go on a date and then they start sexting you. That is a turn fuck off. I will say this right now. If somebody is sexting you, that is not okay. They haven't established any type of safety or boundaries with you in terms of getting to know you, and they're just doing this out of their own pleasure. And this is where I would say it falls into sort of the addiction or this fantasy. It can start to even fall into limerence because all of a sudden you're creating this fantasy of what you guys could do and what could be versus the reality of when you do have sex together for the first time or have sex and you're like, oh, this isn't living up to what we were sexting about. I will say sexting can be a place of desire and it can be a place of darkness. In order to make sure that you are staying in a healthy place of sexting, these are the three things that I want you to think about. Number one, sexting should not replace real connection. It really shouldn't. And I think what's key here is it's supposed to build desire, if anything. But at the end of the day, if that's all you're doing, you've got to kind of check your motives here. What is deeper that's going on that is lacking in terms of human connection for yourself? Number two, match the other person's pace. If you are starting to date somebody, I'm really big on not sexting early into dating. I just am. You can call me old school or whatever. I don't care. But let's talk about creating safety first in terms of getting to know someone. So if you're trying to sext and the person is not receptive, don't escalate that shit. That's fucking creepy. Men or women, it doesn't matter. Watch and see how the other person is responding and read the fucking room. Otherwise, it's all about yourself. And that goes into the addiction piece again. That's the dark side of it. Number three, notice how internally your body feels after you sext. Does it feel excited and it feels good? Or do you feel kind of like you're overthinking and you kind of feel all over the place or you don't feel great about it? And of course, you might have certain things around sexting about guilt and that ties into sex, feeling guilty around sex and sexuality and all that kind of stuff. Like that I would say is kind of separate from this. But if you're not feeling grounded after and you're kind of like, ooh, this doesn't feel right or doesn't feel good, or I'm feeling pressured by this person to perform a certain way in sexting, you got to check yourself because that ain't healthy anymore. I will leave you at this. If you are going to sext anybody, make sure it's consensual. Just because it's not touching physically with someone else doesn't mean you shouldn't be getting consent from the other person that it is okay to do that. Because at the end of the day, I guess you could always just fuck AI. Happy dating. Loved this episode? Rate it 5 stars, hit that subscribe button, baby, and leave a review. Do you want to work with me? Grab my dating courses, apply for my coaching at carlaromo.com or find it all in the show notes, and give me a little follow at I am Carla Romo on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Catch you next time and stay tuned. Carla Turned On is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is not a substitute for therapy. For professional support, please reach out to a licensed mental health provider.